We're talking rhubarb today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of King Seed and Cobra Garden. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, one of the things we like later on in spring to eat fresh from the garden is rhubarb, especially the forced rhubarb, where you get those lovely slender pink sticks that are really sweet and delicious in all sorts of puddings. And if you've got a clump of rhubarb in your garden, then you can very easily force your own rhubarb and enjoy it fresh from the garden instead of having to buy it. Now, what you need is a clump of rhubarb that's been established in the garden for at least 2 years. It needs to get its roots down and really settle in, and then we can force it. And the secret is not to force that clump the following year. It has to have a rest. So ideally you need 2 clumps of rhubarb and then you can alternate them. And now is a good time to do it. Here we are coming towards the end of January. Some people start a little bit earlier by forcing it, but where we are it's been pretty cold and the rhubarb is only just starting to wake up. And this is the point where I like to do it, and we can see this is a clump that's been in now a couple of years and the buds there are just starting to wake up. We've got these first signs of growth, so there's going to be quite a bit of growth comes from that. Now this is a variety called Timperley Early, which its name tells us it would naturally grow earlier than other varieties. So this one is ideal for forcing, but in theory you can force any variety of rhubarb that you've got. So we've got the clump here, there's another one at the back, so we're going to force this one this year, that one next year. The year when it's not being forced, you can still pick ordinary rhubarb off it, so it's not being wasted. So what we're going to do is literally just tickle the soil a little bit, just in case it's compacted. This is nice and friable anyway, but we just want to loosen that off a little bit. And then what I'm going to do, it doesn't need much in the way of feed just yet, but I'm going to put a bit of a mulch around it. And this is some mulch that is made from composted maize and ryegrass from our friends over there at Plant Grow in Norfolk. Our compost in the compost bin isn't ready yet. It needs a few more months, so I'm just going to put some of this. I'm not going to put it over the top of the clump. I'm putting it around almost like a donut. We don't want to smother those buds, so I'm just putting a nice sort of donut shape of this mulch round, and that will go down into the soil. Smells wonderful. And it will feed the soil and also enrich it as the worms pull that down. And then we need to cover it to exclude the light, and it's by excluding the light that encourages it to grow, and in the dark it doesn't develop its full colour, hence the reason it's very pale. Now commercially they do this in huge sheds, but outside we need to put something over it. So it could be an upturned dustbin or a big plant pot, or what I'm using are these terracotta forcing pots, which look nice and they do the trick. They're nice and thick, they're insulated, so I'm just popping that over there to make sure that it's over the clump, put the lid on, and then we leave it to do its own thing. What you can do in a few weeks' time, we can have a peek inside. If it's growing, that's great. And certainly in 6 to 8 weeks' time, if the weather conditions are nice and warm, we'll get a beautiful forced rhubarb, and then we can start to pull it. We'll have a look at it when it's ready. So that's how to start forcing it now. If you haven't got any rhubarb in your garden and you want some, I think every garden should have an apple tree and a clump of rhubarb in it. Now is the perfect time to plant it. And if you look in the seed catalogues, and certainly King's, one of our sponsors, they sell various types of rhubarb that you can buy off the mail order. Now is the time to get it in the ground in some good rich soil, and you'll have rhubarb then for years and years to come. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and don't forget, all our videos can be found on YouTube and the podcast on your normal provider. We'll be back again next week, so we'll see you then. Bye.